Until a couple minutes ago, the rain was coming down hard here at Mark Stadium, but the sun's come out just in time for the Walnut Hills Eagles and the Turpin Spartans to rekindle in a classic ECC rivalry. Walnut hosts their third home game in as many weeks as Turpin comes to town, 1-1, hungry to advance in the ECC in the second year under head coach Brian Walker. Last week, they dismantled Little Miami pretty thoroughly, and they're looking for more here at Mark Stadium. Last week, Walnut Hills was shut out by Milford, failed to score any points. Will Rivers ran down to the 1 yard line as time expired, but did not manage to break the shutout. So now in week 3, they're looking to keep up with a Turpin offense that is defined by pace. They run almost 70 plays per game. Only 3 other teams in the conference run more than 50. But there has also been no defense better at taking the ball away from opponents than these Walnut Hills Eagles, who have recovered 7 fumbles through 2 weeks. Walnut will be looking for more out of quarterback Will Rivers, who completed only 37% of his passes this year, 3 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, as Turpin has leaned heavily on their quarterback, Devin Neegum, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and the most passing yards in the ECC through 2 weeks. Week 3 football, Eagles and Spartans. Turpin leads the overall series since 1970, 26-2. So they have been very dominant in this rivalry, but Walnut looking to change the tides of that in these coming years, and especially tonight as they look to win their first ECC conference game in nearly 3 years. The team walks out of the side door near where we are sitting and ready to walk out onto the field. A couple injury updates. I saw Jonathan Jackson Jr., who did not play in the Milford game. He was running around without his walking boot on. So that's encouraging. And Ty Austin was late to us, but he did eventually come, as the Eagles walk down the stairs next to the south end zone. As they are looking for a week 3 victory. Linebacker Charles Swift, the one holding the flag for the Eagles. Turpin already ran it a few minutes ago, and here they come. It's elementary night here at Walnut Hills, so the nut house will be filled, and it will be loud as the Eagles come out of the field and the countdown clock near 0. And in just a couple of minutes, this one will be underway. Jaden Miller, the last one to reach the sideline as all the Eagles converged, as we are about ready to get things underway here for Mark Stadium. Coin toss will come out first. The marching blue and gold in full show mode, playing to a packed nut house. Visitor side a little bit more empty than we saw it last week as Milford came out. Turpin won the coin toss. They will defer to the second half, so the Walnut Hills offense will get the ball first. Turpin kicker Jack Naderer places the ball on the tee. At the 40-yard line, he prepares the kicker from south to north. Walnut has 2 returners deep. Their usual squadron, Mark Bronson and Malachi Lures, back on the return. Naderer lines up 5 yards off the ball. As the Nut House stays loud and no whistle to start play just yet. The only thing I don't like about the ankle when outside. Walnut Nut House chanting USA. It's their theme night. They wear red, white, and blue in the Nut House. Turpin won out them by bringing the U.S. flag out onto the field during their run on, in addition to their normal Turpin flag. As play has still not started yet. Naderer and the 2 returners both looking a little impatient. It's really referees run off the field. Whistle blows. Naderer approaches the ball and kicks it with his right foot. A high kick headed toward Lewis at about the 20. He fields it out of the 20, moves to the 25, Lewis to the 30. Lewis threw a hold of the 35 and down to the 38 before he was dragged down by Turpin linebacker Davis Rogers. So Malachi Lewis gets a good return to start off the game at the 1 level to have it near their own 40. Here they come. Led by Will Rivers, completing 37% of his passes. He wants to get that number up. Simeon Robinson could see an increased workload with the wet conditions. He's run for 5.5 yards a carry this year. They line up in an I formation with 2 receivers left and Fight Master at tight end. Rivers hands Robinson going right side to the 40. Robinson cuts to the 43, and that's where he is stopped by the Turpin linebackers. A gain of 5 for Robinson to keep Walnut in front of the sticks at 2nd down and 5. They'll give Robinson an even more generous spot, the 44. So it'll be 2nd and a short 5. Yeah. 3 receivers go out left, 1 to the right. Deshaun Hoskins, one of them. Austin not in the game. Hoskins in motion. Thornton, Rivers throws it to him, and Hoskins drops it. Went right off the top of his hands. Rivers were looking for a bubble screen, and he had a couple of blockers, but Hoskins couldn't make the catch. It'll be 3rd and 4. Each of Walnut's opening drives in their weeks 1 and 2 games have ended with a turnover. Week 1, Rivers threw a pick. Week 2, he fumbled it. Walnut's looking to avoid that and move the chains on this 3rd down and 4. Double wing formation, Thornton and Hoskins with 2 receivers out left. Robinson in the backfield. Rivers sends Hoskins in motion. He's going to roll to the left, pitch Hoskins. He's got a lot of work to do to the 40, and that's where he's going to be tackled for no gain by Turpin linebacker Joey Gardner. And here comes the punt team. It's a 3-and-out to start the game for Walnut. So after a good run by Robinson on 1st down, the Walnut offense does not get anything more, and Colin Ross and the punt team will come on. Back deep to receive Dylan Hoffman, senior wide receiver for Turpin, as well as Trey Goetzel, and we have a whistle. Fourth down and 4, 10:30 on the first quarter clock as Ross gets ready to kick this one to the Spartans. Ross gets the snap. He's back to punt. It's a high one. Goes to about the 15, and that's where Hoffman makes the fair catch. So a very good punt here for Colin Ross. And it'll be a long field as the fire alarm's going off inside. And no. Hope that's nothing serious. Hoffman caught it at the 15, and here comes Turpin. Their offense led by Devin Needham, senior quarterback. He's thrown 7 touchdowns to 3 interceptions and completed 65% of his passes. Joey Gardner in the backfield alongside him. He's only rushed for 1.3 yards a carry this year. Sends a man in motion. Needham hands to Gardner going up the middle, and he will be tackled after almost no gain by linebacker Charles Swift. Give Gardner 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. And here comes that high-paced offense from Turpin. They're already back in formation. 3 receivers left. Needham gets the snap, looks to pass quickly. Now running out of time. Pressure coming from Coleman. Needham's going to scramble out to the right, to the 20, to the 25, and that's where he's taken out of bounds by defensive back Jordan Harris. But Needham got a 1st down with his legs this time. A gain of about 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Turpin 28. And they're already back in formation. But a whistle holds up play. Now they'll send 3 receivers out left, 1 right. Needham looks to the sideline after making a snap. Swift almost bit. Gardner motions off of Needham's left hip. Needham back to pass. He rolls out to the left, goes for a quick shot. Now he's going to hit him, sacked. Linebacker Charles Swift came in there. Needham hesitated a split second, and it cost him. Charles Swift for a loss of 5. He sacks Needham, and it'll be 2nd down and long for Turpin. Make it a loss of 7 back to the Turpin 21-yard line. Needham hesitated just a little bit too long, and it cost him. Needham hands to Gardner, running right side. Pressure coming from Harris, but he gets past him. And now he's going to get hit from behind and tackled after a gain of about 9 or 10. Christian Parker Rowe on that tackle. It's 3rd down and about 7. Make it 3rd and 5. Ball to the 32. Turpin to the line quickly. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. No pass completions yet for Devin Needham. He's back to pass here. He's got pressure. He's coming. And it is overthrown, intercepted. Running back the other way is Braylon Dennis to the 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. A pick 6 by Braylon Dennis. And Walnut gets on the board first. It's their 1st defensive score in 3 years. Needham missed his mark. He was looking for wideout C.J. Elliott. And Dennis took it the distance. 6-0 Eagles on a pick 6 by Braylon Dennis. That is their league-leading 8th takeaway by this Walnut defense this year. Colin Ross on for the extra point out of the hold of Eli Newman. Whistle blows. We got a bag on the field. Newman. Colin Ross's extra point attempt is up, and it is good. 7-0 Eagles off a defensive touchdown. Their 1st in 3 years. They take an early lead over the Turpin Spartans. Needham had time, released a quick throw. It was off the mark, and Dennis intercepted it, took it to the house. It's the 1st interception this year for Walnut. And now Colin Ross back to kick. The kickoff returners for Turpin are junior wideout Brady Gillespie and senior wideout Dylan Hoffman. Ross placed the ball on the tee. Had a very good first punt. In Turpin deep, and eventually had that defensive score. We saw the value of a good kickoff when Mason Cooper put on a clinic last week for Milford. Ross approaches the ball, and the ball fell off the tee. It was blown off by a gust of wind. It's still windy. Conditions are not perfect, but definitely still football weather. Whistle blows. Ross approaches the ball and kicks with his right foot. It's a low one, fielded at about the 40, and he goes to the ground. So Turpin avoids the mistake that Milford made. Recovered by running back Davis Rogers, and Turpin will have the ball at about their own 42 to start this drive. So Negum and the Turpin offense will come back out. That was Negum's 4th interception of the year. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Gardner off Negum's right hip. He takes the snap. He hands to Gardner going up the middle, and he will not get very much. He'll get a push forward from his offensive line to about the 46-yard line. Big Donovan Gale in on that tackle. It'll be a gain of about 4 to the Turpin 46-yard line. So Gardner had some woes, but he's running all right to start this game. Negum in the backfield. Same formation. Now Negum looks to the sidelines. No connections for Negum yet. 2nd down and 7. Negum hands Gardner, running right side, got a hold of the 50 to the 45 to the 43, and that's where he's taken down by linebacker Jared Ross, assisted by defensive back Jordan Harris. It'll be a 1st down for Turpin at about the 43. So Joey Gardner with some effective running to start this game. And off goes Gardner, going right side to the 25 to the 40, and Harris just can't wrap him up. He goes past the 35 to about the 33. It'll be close to a 1st down for Turpin. Make it 2nd and inches. Second down at about 1 as Joey Gardner starting to pop some big runs. One will answer with big Stevie Gordon at defensive tackle. Now Gardner goes out wide, 5 wide. Negum in an empty set. He's back to pass. Negum going to run it himself to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. And he's taken down hard after another big pickup by Jared Ross again. Turpin enters the red zone. 1st down and 10 at the Walnut Hills 18-yard line. Pickup of 16 on the ground for Negum. And they're back to the line quickly. Negum, quick snap. Wants to quick pass right side. Going to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Max Heiss was the intended target, defended well by Christian Parker Rowe. 2nd down and 10. Devin Negum still has not completed a pass. Halfway into the 1st quarter, a rough start for the ECC leader in passing yards. Turpin will slow it down a bit. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Joey Dotzauer. Negum takes the snap. Quick draw play goes Gardner, but Walnut, he spins out of a tackle and gets hit and stopped at around the 15. Walnut had a couple guys waiting for Gardner. They had diagnosed that draw play well, but they couldn't bring him down, and Gardner spun forward. It'll be 3rd and long. Walnut looking to hold this Turpin offense out of the end zone and give the ball back to Will Rivers to try to add to their 7-0 lead here in the 1st quarter. Turpin goes heavy. 2 receivers left. They hand to Gardner on 3rd and 7, running right side, and he's hit and stopped. First contact made by Jared Ross. Christian Parker Rowe also in there. Joey Gardner tackled for almost nothing. It'll be 4th down and long for Turpin. And let's see what they want to do. And they're keeping the offense out there on 4th down. They lost a yard on that Gardner run. It's 4th and 8. So that play call, you got to think they were going to go for it anyway. So now Walnut has the opportunity for a big stop here if they can keep Turpin from getting this 1st down. And a timeout called. G. Benjamin Miles was racing down the Walnut sideline to get a timeout in. 4:43 to play in the 1st quarter. Walnut Hills 7, Turpin 0. Walnut's score came from a pick six by sophomore defensive back Braylon Dennis, which may have also been his first career interception. I have not tracked that. So they'll take their first time out to discuss what defense they want to call to stop Turpin from getting these 8 yards. Incomplete pass in the end zone by Negum on 1st and 10, then a 3-yard run, and then a 1-yard loss, both by Joey Gardner, who has been getting a lot of use in this first quarter. Whistle blows, and Turpin's decision is not going to change. They're going to send the offense back out there. 2 receivers left, Abatilo and Milaham, as well as Evan Overholser on the far left sideline. 1 receiver to the right, Max Heiss. Negum snap back to pass. Throws right side. Caught by Heiss. Runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Turpin. Heiss found a hole in Walnut zone defense, and Parker Rowe was late to get to him, and that's a touchdown for Turpin on 4th and 8. And they're an extra point away from tying this game up. So Max Heiss, wearing number 15, raced into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown catch of the year. For the extra point is kicker Addy Braun. Out of the hold of Milaham. He's back, and the extra point is up, and it is good. And Turpin ties this one up, 7-all. So a strong drive on the ground, and Negum gets his first pass completion of the game when it matters. And Turpin ties this one up at 7. Jack Naderer running out with the Turpin kickoff unit. Walnut will stick with Bronson and Lures. They're standing at the 15-yard line on opposite sides. Whistle blows. Naderer standing at the 35, approaches the ball and kicks with his right foot. It's a low one. It'll be fielded by Lures at about the 15. He runs to the 20, to the 25. Turpin close quick to the 30. Lures to the 35, and he's taken down at about the 37-yard line. And that play was made by linebacker Adam Schlomer. But it's another strong return for Malachi Lures. Walnut will have the ball with a solid field position again at about their own. They're going to spot it at the Walnut 38-yard line. Out for the game. Out for the first time, Ty Austin. He lines up alongside Bronson. 2 receivers left as Rivers sets up in the eye. Rivers high snap handles it and gives it to Robinson, who runs up to the 40, and that's about all he gets. Good play by Rivers to handle the high snap from center Brady Nolman. Going to have those freshman jitters occasionally, but didn't turn into a loss. Instead, it's a 2-yard gain for Robinson to about the Walnut 40. Fightmaster trots onto the field to play some tight end. Getting more run at that position than he has in the last 2. 2 receivers go right, 1 left. That's Austin. Rivers lines up in the eye again. Rivers takes a snap. Now it's on the ground. Rivers has to pick it up and try to run to the right. He's going to get tackled for a loss. And that's another bad snap from Nolman, who was tackled by defensive back Brady Gillespie. A loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 10. As Nolman's got to figure out these snap issues, they'll actually spot it at the 39, so 3rd down and 9. First 2 snaps with Austin on the field have not been able to get the ball to him because of these snaps. You got to let Nolman work through these jitters, though. Fightmaster trots off the field on 3rd down and 9. 3 receivers go left, 1 to the right. That's Bronson. Rivers lines up in the gun. Austin in the slot. Snap from Nolman. We got a quick whistle and a flag flies. It'll be a 5-yard false start penalty on Walnut. Didn't hear who it was on. Battle back, Walnut up 5 yards. 3rd down and 14 at their own 34-yard line. In danger of another 3 and out. They haven't gotten a first down yet this game. Got to get some offensive points here. Rivers, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Back to pass. Rivers rolls left. He's pressured. Rivers going to launch it deep down the left sideline. Looking for Thornton, and he is hit and interfered with. Dylan Hoffman was draped all over Joshua Thornton. He got there early. Rivers pass fell incomplete on the left sideline, but that'll give Walnut 15 free yards. Nuthouse gets rowdy after that penalty. Pass interference will go against Turpin senior defensive back Dylan Hoffman. First quarter clock winds down. That'll be Walnut's first down of the game. Looks like it'll be even more than that. So they'll give it a spot foul. Ball is placed at the Turpin 45-yard line and gives Walnut a fresh set of downs. 2:30 to play in the first quarter clock. They get some whistles. Referees standing in the middle of the play, and now they'll spot off. Can't see what's happening here. They'll have a new football, and I can't see what's happening here. So they'll back the ball up to the Turpin 49. Give it first down and 10. Rivers in the eye, 2 receivers left. He takes the snap, he hands to Robinson, going right side and tackled quickly. Stuffed right there by defensive lineman Roman Woolenweber. And that'll be almost no gain, if anything, for Turpin. They'll say that Robinson lost a yard to the midfield stripe. 2nd down and 11. So Walnut having trouble getting positive gains. Walnut sets up in a double wing formation with 1 receiver left, 2 on the wings. They send Austin in motion, and now they'll pitch it right side. No, Rivers is going to get grabbed and thrown down. Rivers tried to pitch it, but he had nothing there, as crashing down was linebacker Luke Millaham, who tackled Rivers for a loss of about 4. It'll be 3rd and long once again for this Walnut offense. Austin will sort of limp toward the sideline. Hoskins comes in. Fightmaster also leaves. And Joshua Thornton re-enters the game. 3rd down and 15, ball on the Walnut 46. 1:12 to play in the first quarter. Tie game 7-7. Walnut sets up in a shotgun. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. They motion into a pistol with Robinson behind Rivers. Back to pass. Rivers running out of time, throws across the middle. It is caught and Bronson fumbles the football at the end of the play, and Turpin dives on it. As Bronson caught it, ran into the 41, tried to get extra yards, then was hit hard by linebacker Luke Millaham, and then it was fallen on by a Turpin defender. And Walnut coughs it up once again at the Turpin 46. And that'll give the ball back to the Turpin offense. 49 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Bronson was about 2 yards shy of the first down marker, but the ball squirted backwards toward the Walnut end zone. And we got a quick flag. Looks like a Walnut player lined up in the neutral zone before the ball was snapped. It'll be 5 yards for Turpin. Might have been Donovan Gale, couldn't really see, but that'll be 5 yards to the 49 of Walnut. 1st down and 5 for Needham and the Turpin offense. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Needham back to pass. He looks, he's pressured by Coleman. Now he's going to roll out to the right. Coleman chasing him from behind, and Needham's going to run to about the Walnut 44 get the 5 yards necessary for a Turpin first down at the Walnut 44. Good pressure put on there by Braylon Coleman, defensive end. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Neegum takes a snap, hands Gardner up the middle. Running to the 40, to the 35, to the 30. And he's hit hard and stopped by defensive back Kristen Parker Rowe, but the Red Sea parted, and Gardner has a gain of 15 to the Walnut 29. As the Turpin offense starting to come alive here in this first quarter. Back to the line, 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Neegum takes a snap back to pass. Neegum throws toward the end zone, looking for Overholser, and it's incomplete. Good coverage put on there by Christian Parker Rowe as Overholser had almost no shot to get that. 13 seconds to play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And now they'll line up. Single wing formation, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Neegum takes a snap and hands to a new running back. It's 10, taken down quickly at the Walnut 41 is this new back. That was Davis Rogers Jr., taken down by Jared Ross, and that'll be the final play of this first quarter. Walnut and Turpin tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter. Turpin had a touchdown pass on 4th and 8. Walnut had a pick 6. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and 7 for Turpin to start the second quarter. Dayron Acklin enters the game at defensive back. He's playing up high safety as the first snap of the second quarter here for Turpin. Looks like 4-down territory. Gardner in the backfield behind Neegum. 2 receivers left, 2 right. And the Turpin offense look to the sidelines. 3rd down and 7 at the Walnut Hills 27. Neegum ready for the snap. He takes it. He's back to pass. Quick pass goes right side, and it's caught. First down for Turpin to about the 11 as Luke Millihan made that catch. Jordan Harris tried to jump the route and tip it. That could have been very dangerous, but instead it's a first down completion for Turpin to about the Walnut Hills 11. And we got a whistle. Coach Miles pointing on the sidelines as Turpin's already set for the next play. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Turpin looking to break this 7-7 tie. Turpin looking at the sidelines again. And now the motion in tight. Abatiello goes over to the right side. Neegum in a pistol. He hands to Gardner. He's going to the left side now. And Gardner is taken down after a gain of about 3 by linebacker Jared Ross. He ran him to the right guard. It was a pretty hard play to diagnose, but Walnut tackled Gardner after a short gain. Now entering the game for Turpin will be big halfback Brody Nickerson. 210 pounds. He'll line up wide with the ball on the 5. Neegum in a pistol. Neegum hands to Gardner running right side. Gardner to the 5, and that's where he's stopped, but he gets a push forward from his offensive line again and falls forward to about the 2. Jared Ross and Deshaun Hoskins in there on the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 1 from the Walnut Hills 2. Got to think Turpin might just feed the hot hand, let Gardner have another touch. as they line up in a heavy set. Walnut looking to stop Turpin. Hand to Gardner, running right side to the middle, and he is blown up and stopped. I don't think he got in. He did not. He was stopped by defensive end Cade Fightmaster. But he did get to the 1 and secure the first down for Turpin. It was a very close call, but Fightmaster could not stop Gardner before he got to the 1. 10 minutes and counting, first and goal for Turpin. They line up heavy again. Joey Gardner looking for his first touchdown of this year. Nickerson off his left hip. Negum hands Gardner, running right side and hit and stop, but he might have gotten his face mask. Linebacker Xander Hargis came in, but on the contact, a flag flew as Gardner was tackling back at about the 5-yard line. We'll see what the flag is. Gardner might have gotten a hold of the face mask of refs talking to Coach Miles, and looks like illegal formation went against Turpin, and Walnut will just accept the tackle for loss. Second down and goal with the ball on the 5 after that 4-yard tackle for loss by Xander Hargis. Walnut looking to keep Turpin out of the end zone. Turpin looking to break this 7-7 tie. Negum back to pass, throws quick right side. Overholser at the 1, and he's in for a touchdown. Evan Overholser runs into the end zone for his first touchdown of the year, and Turpin takes the lead. It's 13-7. There's a quick out route. Overholser made the catch. Negum put it on the money, and Turpin takes the lead here in the second quarter. Turpin kicker Addy Braun out for this extra point. High snap. Kick is up, and it is through the uprights. Someone in the marching band catches it. Turpin 14, Walnut Hills 7, 9:05 to play here in quarter number 2 after the touchdown catch by Evan Overholser. 9th touchdown pass of the year for Devin Negum. And Turpin has lead for the first time this game. Kickoff units will come on as Jack Naderer looking for a ball to kick that is not there right now. Both teams came onto the field very quickly. Now a referee trots out with the ball and placed it on the 40-yard line. So far, 2 good kick returns by number 12, junior wide receiver Malachi Lures. Let's see if they'll kick the other way this time. Jack Naderer approaches the ball and kicks with his right foot. It's a high kick. That's going to go to Lures at about the 30 with a head of steam. He loses the control of it and picks it back up, just lets it go out of bounds at about the 25. Lures tried to come in with a ton of momentum and just could not make the running catch. So the ball went out of bounds. It'll be placed on the Walnut 26. So the worst starting field position on a drive for Walnut so far, although they have not been able to get a first down by means other than a penalty. Looking to change that right here as Rivers and the Walnut offense trot onto the field. They'll start in a heavy set, double wing, 1 receiver right. That's Bronson with Simeon Robinson off of Rivers' right hip. Thornton goes in motion. They hand Robinson, who gets to the 36 to the 26, and not much more than that, as he was driven back by a stacked Turpin box. Roman Woolenweber on that. They'll give Robinson about 2 yards to the 27. Make it 2nd and 9. And Turpin has just been able to bottle up most of what Walnut wants to do to start this football game. They line up in the heavy set again and again. Bronson's the only receiver out to the right, guarded by defensive back Mac Reed. Rivers takes the snap and hands to Robinson, running middle of the field to the 30, and he's taken down at about the 31-yard line. A gain of 4. Max Heiss in on that tackle. It's 3rd down and medium. Ball spotted at the Walnut 32, so it'll be 3rd down and 4. 2 heavy set runs by Simeon Robinson. And they'll go right back to the heavy set. And again, just Bronson and Reed all alone on that right side. Double wing formation. Rivers now back to pass. Blitz coming by Turpin. He sidesteps to the left and throws it deep. He's got a man, Hoskins, and it's intercepted. It kicked off by Turpin, and he's taken down quickly, but it was picked off by Turpin defensive back Brody Gillespie. Make that actually Brody Nickerson, linebacker, who Hoskins had his man beat, but turned around to see that the ball was well underthrown right into the hands of Brody Nickerson. And Walnut turns it over for the 2nd time tonight. The ball was returned to the Walnut 40, to the Turpin 49. And that's where Devin Needham and the Turpin offense will take over. 4th interception of the year for Will Rivers. He is just looking for any kind of positive momentum in his junior year. Has not found much. Turpin offense out there. Needham takes the snap back to pass. Pressure coming. Needham now running out of time. Flag is down. He's pressured by Mesfin. He rolls out to the left. Needham just dirts it. Incomplete. We'll see what the flag is. Could be a hold on the Spartans. We'll see. Holding call goes against Turpin. Needham had a while to throw the ball, and now we see why. It'll set Turpin back 10 yards. To the Turpin 39. It'll be 1st down and 20. Dayron Ackland continues to see extended run here at free safety. So big personnel changes coming as Heaton progresses. Needham, quick screen pass goes right side. He's got a lot of room to work to do, and he just gets out of bounds and is hit hard by Hoskins. Brady Gillespie. He got to the sideline and picked up, let's say, 5 to the Turpin 44. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Ross runs off the field, replaced by a new face, Cam Fightmaster. Needham back to pass, rolls out right. Screen pass goes left side now, and Gardner evades the tackle and gets to the Walnut 41. Almost a 1st down, and it looks like they'll put him at a yard or 2 short. Cam Fightmaster, Jordan Harris both had shots at Gardner on that cleverly designed screen pass. Gardner spotted, got down about the 42. 3rd down and short. Needham now back, and he throws another screen pass, goes right side. It's caught to the 40, and out about the 36 goes wide receiver Carter Lewis, securing the 1st down. We got a couple hands up, but Turpin secures the 1st down. Don't see any laundry. Turpin has a lot of substitution at those skill positions. Part of what makes that offense so effective throughout the entire game. Overholser runs off the field, replaced by Heiss. 3 receivers to the left of Needham, 1 right, and Gardner off of his right-hand hip. Needham takes a snap, hands Gardner, going to the right. Now motion to the middle and taken down after a very short gain. Defensive end Braylon Coleman on that tackle, as well as Charles Swift, linebacker, and we get an injured Turpin player after that gain of 1. as Joey Gardner was slow to get up and now walks off of the field favoring one leg. The other running back that was coming in frequently was junior Davis Rogers. Gardner had a very solid first quarter, but now has to leave the game because of this. Maybe, hopefully it's just cramps. You don't want to see any player get injured in this sport. 2nd down and 9 as the clock ticks under 6 minutes to play. Turpin with a 14-7 lead here in the second quarter. Davis Rogers off of Neagham's left-hand hip, 2 receivers left, 2 right. Neagham's and everyone just started running. The center did not snap the ball, and we're going to get a false start on everyone but the center. That'll back Turpin up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 14 from the Walnut Hills 41. Joey Gardner just now put his helmet back on. He's walking fine along the Turpin sideline. Rogers still in the game, but Gardner looks like he's itching for more action. 2nd down and 14 from the Walnut Hills 41. Neagham, snap, hands to Rogers, running up the middle to the 36, and that's where he's taken down by linebacker Charles Swift. Give about 4 or 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and long for Turpin. 3rd down and 10. Heiss runs off the field, replaced by Mickey Abatiello, who heading into this game was Turpin's leading receiver, but tonight has no catches. From the 37, one of the defense looking to get off the field, or at least get to do a 4th down situation. They send Abatiello in motion. Neagham back to pass, screen pass, and it's incomplete as Neagham threw it over the head of Abatiello. He was pressured, and 4th down and 9. We'll see what Turpin wants to do here, and they didn't kick the first time. They're not going to kick this time. It's going to be a Turpin trying to go for it on 4th and 9 from their Walnut Hills 37. Last time in the situation, Walnut called a timeout. It still look a little disorganized as Turpin gets to the line, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Neagham. And Walnut jumped off sides. Joshua Thornton was sent in on a blitz package. He got a little too angsty and jumped off sides on a hard count by Neagham. That'll take it to 4th down and 4. Does not change the decision making here from Turpin. Thornton walks off the field after that blunder. Dawes make that Xander Hargis enters the game. 4th down and 4. Walnut even looking for a stop here. Neagham goes for the hard count again. They look to the sideline. One did not bite this time. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Neagham, back to pass. Wants a quick pass to the right. Not there. Neagham running out of time. Now he's going to try and run for his legs. And Neagham slides down, hit hard by defensive back Braylon Dennis, but he did get enough to get the 1st down. Let's see the call. It looked like Neagham got to about the 28-yard line for a 1st down. Penalty flagged on the field, though. Didn't notice it until late. Looking at Coach Miles again. Holding call against Turpin. And so Turpin back to about the Walnut 41. It still will not change the calculus for head coach Brian Walker. 4th down and about 12. And Neagham in the offense is still out there. Looking at the sidelines for a while as they finally get the sign held up on a clipboard. 4th down and 13 from the Walnut 41. Neagham back to pass. Pressure coming. Neagham right side goes, and it is, and a diving catch is made. No, they call it incomplete. Luke Milliham looked like he had a catch, but it looks like it hit the ground. He was defended by senior defensive back Deshaun Hoskins. Instead, it'll be a turnover on downs on 4th and 13 as Walnut defense finally gets a stop before halftime. It's 14-7 Turpin with 4:08 to play here in quarter number 2. As the Walnut offense will come back out there, they still have not managed to get a first down that wasn't on a penalty. They need to do that some if they want to keep up with Turpin. Walnut lines up in a double wing, 2 receivers out right. They motion Thornton and then hand to Robinson, going right side to the 40 to the 42, and that's where he's stopped and driven back with a Turpin linebacking core. Give him about 1 or 2. It'll be second down and another penalty flag on the field. Was way back there, and penalties against Walnut, that'll put him back some. So looks like we'll get some kind of a legal formation. That'll back Walnut up just 5 yards, so no hold. First down and 15 from their own 36. Walnut still looking for that first down of the night against the Turpin defense that has proved very stout. Walnut lines up in a spread, 2 receivers each side. Rivers back to pass. He throws to the right side, looking for Thornton, and he makes a one-handed catch. Jeremiah Thornton out of bounds at about the 44. And that's a good way to get your offense rolling. Jeremiah Thornton with a nice catch up to about the Walnut Hills 40. They'll say he got to the few extra yards before he got about to the Walnut 48. Second down and 4. An 11-yard pickup from Rivers to Thornton. As that spread look finally yields some results. Walnut lines up in a heavy set. 2 receivers out right. Those are Brunson and Jeremiah Thornton, and Rivers in the eye. Second down and 4. Rivers takes the snap, hands Robinson, running middle of the field and up to about the 48, and that's where he is hit and stopped. Turpin linebackers have crashed down hard in these run plays. That was Max Heiss. Robinson gets about 1 to the Walnut 49. Third down and 3. First half clock down to about 2:42. Walnut huddles up. Turpin always plays at that fast pace. They're already ready for whatever Walnut's going to throw as Ty Austin comes running in with the play from the sideline. Walnut looking for a first down. They line up in a heavy set, just 1 receiver left. That is Bronson. Handoff goes Robinson. No, it's pump fake Rivers. He's under pressure, and he's going to have to scramble out of the right, trying to buy time, and he's batted out, and almost a one-handed interception. Rivers, that play looked doomed from the start. And on fourth down and 3, 2:08 to play, Walnut's keeping the offense out there. We'll get a whistle and a timeout called by head coach Miles. As Walnut started this sequence with a promising catch by Jeremiah Thornton, but then a run from Robinson and a slow developing play action pass from Rivers yielded only 1 yard. Second time out of the half by the Eagles with 2:08 to play. They're looking to cut into this 14-7 deficit held by these Eagles. Turpin defense already out there. And here comes the offense. Fourth down and a short 3 as Walnut will go back to the heavy set. Just Bronson off to the left. Trying to get these 2 yards against a stacked box. Rivers motions Austin, hands to Robinson, going right side to the 45, to the 41, and Simeon Robinson. And finally, Walnut Hills gets a first down. A good run by senior running back Simeon Robinson with some good burst. Keeps down to the 41 of Turpin. It's a first down for Walnut. Clock runs under 2 minutes. Walnut's played a much better first half than they have in their last week against Milford. Walnut goes right back to the double wing with Bronson out wide. And now Austin's going to motion and go out wide as well. Just two defensive backs for Turpin against Walnut's top two receivers. Hands it off to, I can't see who it is, but he gets a push forward to about the 38. As that was Jeremiah Thornton taking the snap as the halfback out of the I formation. Clock runs down to 1:17. They'll give Thornton the 39 at about 2 yards. As Joshua Thornton and Bronson run in with the play call as the clock runs down to about a minute. Walnut's got to hurry if they want to punch it into the end zone here. And now Walnut gets in position. Single wing formation. Austin's the wing. Rivers rolls left side. Pitches Robinson to the 40, to the 35. Robinson down to about the 33-yard line, and that's where he's taken down by a swarm of Spartans. Clock down to 40 seconds now. 3rd down and 3. On about the Turpin 33. Don't know what Colin Ross's range is, but it's probably not this. Walnut wants a few more yards. 25 seconds and counting. Spread set. Rivers back to pass. He's got time. He looks deep. He looks toward the middle of the field, and it is incomplete as Thornton was hit early, but they will not throw a flag. Brady Hoffman was the defensive back on that play. It's 4th down and 3, and Walnut will keep their offense out there with 16 seconds to play in the first half. Fourth down and 2. Walnut's got one timeout. Rivers gets the play from the sideline. Pretty important play here. Walnut wants points before halftime. 4th down and 2. Heavy set, Bronson out right, and we got a whistle quickly, and a timeout is going to be taken by Turpin. If Colin Ross were to attempt the kick from here, it would be a 51-yard field goal try from his first ever high school attempt. So I don't think that's how Walnut wants to ease him into place kicking. And of course, if the play goes too fast, Turpin can try and get a quick score. Otherwise, it'll be a 7-point game into the locker room. Turpin is slated to receive first. Scoring summary of Braylon Dennis pick 6 for Walnut, and then 2 touchdowns from Devin Neegum to his receivers, Max Heiss, as well as Evan Overholser, as Walnut comes back out there in the spread. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Critical play here. 4th down and 2. Rivers back to pass. He rolls to the left. He's got some pressure in his face. He's running out of time and just throws it to the sideline, incomplete. There was just nothing there, and it'll be a turnover on downs for this Walnut offense. Rivers ran 7 seconds of clock off, but both of Rivers' options were headed deep, and Rivers had men in his face, couldn't see him properly, couldn't get the Hail Mary off. It's 9 seconds to play here in the first half. Turpin will have it 1st and 10 from the 33. They might just take a knee. Walnut playing a very sparse line. Looks like a punt return formation almost. Dayron Ackland and Deshaun Hoskins over 20 yards off the ball. Donovan Gale, Leule Mesfin, Braylon Coleman, the 3 men at the line. Everyone else pretty far off the ball. Turpin has 2 plays to get a touchdown here, or any sort of score. 2 timeouts. So going out of bounds is not a problem. 2 backs off each side of Neegum. He just takes a knee. And that'll be the end of the first half. Whoa. Oh, Neegum didn't take a knee. He faked it. Walnut picked up on it, and Charles Swift and Braylon Coleman came screaming into the backfield to tackle Neegum. The flag was already thrown by Neegum. Not sure what this is. The clock is reading triple zeros. And the penalties against Turpin. Coach Miles going to clean it, and that will be the end of the first half. Turpin 14, Walnut Hills 7 here at the break. We'll have scores around the city when we come back. Walnut Hills award-winning Marching Blue and Gold just completed their halftime show, which means it's about time to check in on scores around the city, see how Walnut's ECC rivals are doing. Anderson Little Miami was delayed by rain. That game just kicked off. Kings, a 14-6 lead on Loveland at the half. Kings looking for a bounce-back game after they failed to score an offensive touchdown against Winton Woods last week. West Claremont leads Lebanon 7-0. That game's at the end of the first quarter. And Winton Woods' offense has come to life. They lead Milford 15-0 at halftime as that defense continues to stifle any and all comers. Middletown ahead of Coleraine 10-3. Coleraine looking to break a pretty long losing streak. Figure they'll get one at some point this year. That game is at the half. Mason leads Oak Hill 17-0. Lakota East, the upstart team under head coach John Kitna, they are tied with Hamilton at halftime, 14 apiece. Princeton, Lakota West, that game is a scoreless tie at the end of the first quarter. So very GMC battle right there. Fairfield, very not GMC battle. They're up on Sycamore 28-0. As that game is not close. Sycamore, one of Walnut's competitors for those last few D1 Region 4 playoff spots. Need them to keep losing. Elder ahead of Springboro 13-6. That game's at the half. LaSalle tied up with Fairmont 9 apiece. That game is in the late second quarter. Moeller beating up with their out-of-state opponent East Central from Indiana. They're up 30-0, and top prospect Matt Ponatoski has 3 touchdown passes in that game. And St. Xavier having more trouble with their opponent. They're facing Cathedral High School in Indiana, and that game is tied at 14 in the late second quarter. In other sports, the Reds are tied with the Mets at 2 apiece. And Ellie De La Cruz with a 2-run homer in that game. Reds looking to run the table possibly and get an outside playoff shot. We all know that won't happen. And the one NFL game tonight, the Sao Paulo game, the Eagles and Packers will face off in Brazil. That game will kick off in a couple of minutes. When we come back, second quarter action between these Eagles and Spartans. Turpin 14, Walnut 7. We'll see you later. Walnut and Turpin are about ready to run back onto the field. Unlike last time, Walnut went back to the locker room, and about 12 minutes into the countdown clock, Coach Miles came in to give these Eagles a pep talk. The big point of concern so far is that offense. They have now been shut out for 7 quarters and change. Just the one defensive touchdown, representing their only points since Ty Austin caught a touchdown pass in the fourth quarter of the season opener against West High. Since then, Milford and now Turpin have blanked them. Walnut offense has got to find some answers if they want to pull off the upset tonight. They'll have the support of a packed nut house. It's just gotten even more full since the start of the game, and it's full with young voices who are very loud. As the Walnut offense emerges from the tunnel, full Walnut team, I should say, but the Walnut offense is part of that. They're greeted by a very enthusiastic Nuthouse as they will kick off to Turpin to start this third quarter. Colin Ross had a solid kickoff to start. Rather get a solid punt. Kickoff wasn't so great, but that was just because he was going for another trick play to steal its possession from Turpin. Now that's on film, you gotta wonder if he has to start pivoting away from that style of kicking. Since he's now tried it twice. Oh, really? Okay. One notable storyline from the first half is that Ty Austin was used very sparingly. That 6'1", 190. He was expected to be Walnut's top weapon heading into the year, but he has played barely half the snaps, as Coach Miles has really diversified which receivers are coming into the game on certain plays. I don't think he has a touch yet, so I'm sure Walnut will want to change that. Cannot go an entire game of football without getting Ty Austin involved multiple times. It'll be bad for him, and it'll be bad for the team morale that the ball's getting spread around so much. Countdown clock resets to 3 minutes for second half warm-ups. Those were not in place last week because Milford had a running clock, so the outcome of the game was basically in hand. Here, Turpin's only up by 7 points. This game is very much up in the air. Walnut will have to play their best half of football all year to try and get this one to go in their favor. Two guys playing catch along the Turpin sideline, Devin Neegum and sophomore quarterback Logan Ackerman, which is the heir apparent to Neegum after he graduates at the end of this year. Turpin's hoping that he can get them a playoff win at the very least. Would be a very good step forward in the second year under head coach Brian Walker. Turpin and Walnut retreat to the sidelines. They huddle up around Coach Miles. They'll need to play a complete half of football or risk losing a second straight game. One more underappreciated aspect. It's getting cold. It's getting very much less warm than in the last two games. It was almost 90 in those two. Now it's, I would guess it's barely even 60. Walnut runs to the sideline as Rivers is practicing deep passes with a Walnut staffer. Right now, I think Rivers just got to focus on completing any passes because he has been hesitant and a little bit inaccurate as well. So, got to get better at that. Turpin kickoff team takes the field. Two receivers deep. Brady Gillespie and Sam Stiles, sophomore wide receiver. Sophomore kicker Colin Ross gets instruction whispered in his ear by Robinson. Places the ball on the tee, and now Jordan Harris runs across the formation. Not sure what they're doing here. Turpin has 6 men near the spot, ready for a surprise kick by Ross. Whistle blows. Ross approaches the ball, and a whistle, and the ball fell off the tee again for the second time this game. So the wind starting to take its toll. Ross trying to make sure it's really firm, so, and it falls off again. Wind not helping this second half get underway. Ball stays on the tee, whistle blows, still there as Walnut waves their arms and Ross approaches the ball and kicks with his right foot. This time it's a high one, fielded by the up man, and it's dropped on the ground, and he just barely gets to it, it looks like, at the 32. Ross put it like a volleyball serve, right where the up man for Turpin had a hard time handling it. He did fall on it, but that could have been a big play if things had shaken out a little differently. It'll be 1st and 10 for Turpin at about the Walnut at their own 32. Turpin up 14-7. Needham 2 touchdowns, 1 interception in the first half. Walnut even looking for a quick stop or a takeaway. 1st and 10. Needham hands it off to Gardner, who goes up the middle and is hit pretty quickly and tackled by linebacker Jared Ross. One of the ECC's leading tacklers makes his presence known on that down. Joey Gardner did not get much. And they'll say he didn't get anything at 2nd down and 10 for Turpin. Back to the line quickly. Needham with Gardner off his right hip. Needham, quick pass goes right side. It's caught and tackled up at the 40. A penalty flag comes out as that catch was hauled in by Brady Gillespie. The flag was right around where Gillespie got tackled at about the 39-yard line. Could get a hold on that blocking receiver, and it looks like that's what we're going to have. So, a legal shift, in fact. What it heard, but it'll back him up 10 yards. It'll back him up 15 yards. Ball placed all the way back at the Turpin 17. They'll call offensive pass interference, looks like. So, tough to decipher that, but we got it. 2nd down and 25 for the Spartans. Needham hands it off. Gardner running up the right side. No, he keeps Needham right side to the 20 to the 30. Needham passes the 40, and he's finally forced out of bounds by safety Dayron Ackland. But Devin Needham showed some impressive speed on that run and got all 25 in one fell swoop. A gain of 26 yards for senior quarterback Needham. 1st and 10 from the Turpin 43, and they're back to the line quickly. Needham, quick pass. No, he's going to try and run for it, and this time he's going to be grabbed and sacked by defensive end Braylon Coleman. Needham tried to take off, but Coleman plugged up the running lane. No gain for Turpin. 2nd and 10 from their own 42, making a loss of 1. 2nd sack of the year for Braylon Coleman. 2nd down and 11. Needham back to pass. No pressure now. The pressure's coming. Needham has to roll out to the right to the 35, and he'll just run into the 40, to the 40 out of the 50, and he's down the sideline, forced out of bounds. As Needham gained about 8. They'll give him the midfield stripe. It'll be 3rd down and 3 from midfield. 2 down territory as Stevie Gordon runs onto the field for Walnut, replacing a different defensive tackle. They want their big set to try and contain Joey Gardner, but Turpin been using Devin Needham's legs a little bit as well. 3rd down and 3 from the 50. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Needham back to pass. Quick pass goes right side, hits his man at the 40, and he's taken out of bounds by Parker Rowe at the 37, so a 1st down secured as they caught Parker Rowe playing a soft zone, threw it to Max Heiss, and that gives Turpin a fresh set of downs at the Walnut Hills 38. So now 2nd and 25 converted by Turpin, and now 3rd down and 3. They reached 3rd down 16 times against Little Miami last week. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Gardner off Neagham's right-hand hip. Back to pass. Quick pass goes right side. Oh, and a diving catch by Max Heiss. They'll say it was incomplete. Heiss had to reach out for it, and they'll say the ground helped him secure that catch. Heiss found a hole in the Walnut zone. Could not turn it into yards. That's 2nd down and 10. Three receivers left, one right. Neaghan tells Gardner to go off his left-hand hip. Quick snap. Handoff goes Gardner out the middle to the 30. Gardner to the 29. Into the secondary to the 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds is Gardner at about the 11, forced out by senior defensive back Deshaun Hoskins. Big run for Joey Gardner right up the gut. It'll be a 1st down for Turpin in the red zone, and they'll give him the Walnut 8. Make it the 10. 1st down and goal. Turpin to the line quickly. Stage in the spread. Hands Gardner. Running left side. Gardner falls forward and gets about 3. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 7. Turpin switches off some personnel. They send in Luke Millihan and Brody Nickerson, that big halfback, to line up in the backfield alongside Devin Neaghan and Joey Gardner. As Walnut sends a player out there, Cam Fightmaster, to play some linebacker. 2nd down and goal from the 7. Neaghan lines up. Nickerson off his left-hand hip and Gardner behind him. Snap to Neaghan. Hands Gardner running left side to the 5. Gardner to the goal line, and he's taken down at about the 1. So stopped just short. In there to make the stop was defensive back Deshaun Hoskins. It's 3rd down and goal from the 1. Gardner still looking for his first rush touchdown of the year. 8:30 to play, and he's a yard away from pay dirt. They keep their 2 running backs in, Nickerson and Gardner. And now a whistle. And a timeout's going to be called by Walnut. With the way Turpin's been handling this game, you'd think that they're going to take 2 shots at the end zone here rather than kick a field goal if they get stopped the first time. Walnut really wants to stop because they're often going to need to step up on this next drive, regardless of the outcome of this Turpin drive. Just a small group of players huddling up for Walnut during this timeout. Freshman defensive tackle Jonathan Smith will enter the game. Swift will leave. So Walnut will send a heavy crew out to try to stop this 2-back attack from Turpin. And of course, got to worry about those quick passes as well. They've got 1 receiver spread to each side, all alone. Two back in the backfield for Turpin. 3rd down and goal. Hands Gardner, running right side. Gardner reaches up, and no signal yet. And they'll say that he was stopped short of the goal line. So a good defensive stand on the first try by Walnut. It's 4th and goal from the 1. Joey Gardner, been riding him a lot. Now they sneak up to the line. They're going to try and push Neaghan in. He's headed toward the pile. He is pushed into the end zone. A penalty flag flies. Neaghan got into the end zone, it looked like. We'll see what the flag is. It's a touchdown for Turpin. We'll see what the flag is. It was a very early one. They had Nickerson and Gardner line up and try to push Neaghan in. It's going to be in a, let's see. We'll get an illegal formation penalty. It looks like that tush push was not FDA approved. So it sets Turpin back 5 yards, 4th and goal from the 6. the playbook is less open. Walnut defense wants to stop, and now we have some new personnel trotting out. It's the field goal team. They'll send Addie Braun out there, and they will surrender this possession to try to go up by 10. It'll be a 24-yard field goal attempt for junior kicker Addie Braun. 7:48 to play. Out of the hold of Millaham. 24-yard attempt for Addie Braun. Snap good, hold good. Braun's kick is wobbly toward the uprights, but it gets through. And Turpin's lead is extended to 17-7 on the first drive of the third quarter. Could be a success for the Walnut defense, but offense is going to need to find some life here on this first drive of the third quarter if they want to get back into this game. Jack Naderer on for his fourth kickoff of the night. Lures and Bronson back to receive. They've generally gotten solid field position out of these kicks. Want to give this offense a chance to have a short field. Naderer approaches the ball, kicked with his right leg, a high one toward Lures. He fields it and he drops it again out of bounds. Went off of Lures at about the 18-yard line, and he again tried to make a catch on the run so he could have some momentum, but it went off him and it went right out of bounds. It'll be another long field for this Walnut offense. Where I saw it's at the Walnut 18. It'll be placed on the 18. 17-7 in favor of the Spartans. The Walnut offense will come out there with a long field ahead of them. They need to find some source of offensive production. They'll line up in the heavy set to start this drive. One receiver out to the left, double wing. They send Austin in motion. They give it to Robinson up the middle to the 15, and not much more than that, as Turpin plugged the holes quickly and made the tackle for a gain of maybe 1. And these heavy set plays are simply not working out for Walnut. They'll say Robinson lost a yard on that play. It's second down and 11. And I feel like at some point you got to go back to what was working last year, the spread offense. They go 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, and a single wing with Austin as the wing. Rivers takes the snap. He rolls out to the right. Pressure quickly. Robinson gets the pitch on the right side of the 50 to the 20 and taken down from behind at about the 22-yard line by a Turpin linebacker. So a positive gain for Robinson, but it'll still be third down and about 5 or 6. Make it 7. Walnut offense needs to come up with a big play here. Cannot give the ball right back to Turpin. That defense is already getting worn out. Walnut sends 2, 3 receivers left and 1 to the right with Robinson off of Rivers' right hip. Rivers gets the snap, rolls out to the left to pass. Gonna set up, motion some men around, and now he's in trouble trying to roll out to the left. He's just running out of time. He just throws it and it's intercepted. Oh no, he dropped it. Rivers just panicked, threw it toward the general direction of Ty Austin, and Joey Gardner was covering him, couldn't make a diving pick, but that is a not good first drive for this Walnut offense. The woes from the first half continue as Rivers just held the ball for a while, had pressure in his face, and made a poor decision with the throw. Fortunate to be an incompletion, but now Colin Ross back to punt. Turpin sends their 2 receivers at about the 50. Ross standing at about his own 9-yard line. Gets the snap, back to punt. He boots it. Oh, it's a wobbler, and it's right out of bounds inside the Walnut 35. A bad punt from Colin Ross. And Turpin will start with great field position inside inside the Walnut 40. Let's see where they spot this football. Ball is spotted at the Walnut 34. So maybe a 15-yard punt from Colin Ross. You want better than that, but he's young. He's still learning. Got a lot of growing pains for this Walnut team. Growing pains don't win games, though. Turpin goes to the spread. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Gardner behind Negum. Negum back to pass, rolls out right. Negum throws right, and he finds a man on a curl route. Max Heiss makes the catch at about the 27. So a solid gain on first down for Turpin. It'll be enough for a first down as the ball was spotted at the Turpin Walnut 24. So a first down catch for Heiss. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Negum will hand to Gardner. He runs up the middle of the 20 to the 15 to the 10. Gardner taken down at about the 6-yard line. A big run, and he was finally taken down by defensive back Kristen Parker Rowe. But this Walnut defense starting to get worn out. Offense has not been able to stay on the field, and now we got a player down. We have a Walnut defensive player curled up in pain. That is Deshaun Hoskins. He's not on his legs. He's sort of doing a squat, and now he gets to his knees. Hoskins stands up. Make that Charles Swift, in fact. So Swift walks off pretty quickly under his own power. With the blocky lettering, 1 and 7 don't look that different. But Walnut's linebacking core continuing to take hits. First and goal for Turpin from the Walnut 6. Cam Fightmaster enters the game to replace Swift. Negum, 2 receivers each side. Now they send a man in motion. Negum's going to hand it off to Gardner, running left side to the 5. Gardner hit and dropped at about the 3 by linebacker Xander Hargis. That'll get half the distance that Turpin needs to get to the end zone. It'll be second and goal from the Walnut 3. 5 minutes and counting left in the third quarter. Turpin up 17-7. Walnut offense has not been able to muster much. Only scoring a pick 6 by defensive back Braylon Dennis. Negum gets the snap, hands Gardner running left side, and he drives to about the 1, and then is pushed backwards. No touchdown for Turpin. Donovan Gale in on that tackle, as well as Xander Hargis again, who comes up limping. Third and goal from the 1. 2 runs by Joey Gardner have gotten them 5 of the 6 yards needed. Sky fully dark now. Stadium lighting is all they have. Second drive in a row, Turpin's been on the 1. They'll send in their 2-back formation with Nickerson and Gardner in the backfield with a wing off to the left. Now a motion across the formation to the right. Third and goal. Negum takes the snap, hands to Nickerson, running to the left, and he is pulled backwards and stopped. Defensive back Braylon Dennis, as well as Deshaun Hoskins, crashed down and made a nice tackle for loss on Nickerson. That'll keep him out of the end zone. Loss of 1 yard in the play. It's 4th and goal from the 2. And you got to wonder, they're going to kick out the field goal. You got to wonder if going for it, even if they failed, this Walnut offense would not be able to do a 98-yard drive. We got a timeout called. So the Turpin offense ran to the sideline, but Looks like it was because of a timeout, not because of a personnel change. 3:22 to play in the third quarter as Turpin has controlled the ball for almost the entire game. Timeout was called by Walnut, so that is their second of the half. They have just one to try and make this comeback. But the first order of business, stopping Turpin here. The defense comes out. Don't know what formation that Turpin will come out in. Will it be the field goal unit or the offense? Up 17-7 with the ball on the 2, a glorified 2-point conversion. And it's the offense. Both running backs coming in, Nickerson and Gardner. 2 receivers to the right. And a 6-man line on 4th and goal for Turpin. Here we go. Negan with both backs behind him. And a whistle. And we'll get another run to the sidelines. Looks like that was a Walnut timeout. Says it's their second charge, so whatever that sideline was last play was not a timeout. This is their second timeout. They have one left. Clock's at 3:15. But Turpin seems to have diagnosed what they're going to do here. Walnut's got to first keep him out of the end zone and then go the length of the field with an offense that has not been able to do that all night. Whistle comes to break up the Walnut huddle. Turpin not changing much, the same personnel. Negum both backs and 3 wideouts. Nickerson off of Negum's right-hand hip. Gardner behind him as the nut house gets loud. 4th and goal. Negum. Handoff goes Gardner running up the middle. And Gardner is pushed up. No signal yet. They call him short. Joey Gardner stopped a yard short of the goal line. The Walnut defense makes a stand and stops Turpin to keep the score at 17-7. Just an excellent goal line stand there. Turpin called 4 straight run plays. Now what are we doing? So the Walnut offense will take the field. They're at their own 1, 99 yards away from pay dirt. They're down by 10. Need whatever production they can get as they line up in the heavy set. Rivers standing 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Thornton in motion. Hand Robinson up to the 3 and falls forward to about the 4. So Simeon Robinson with a 3-yard run on 1st and 10 from the 1. And we got a Turpin player down, it looks like. They'll give Robinson 2 yards. We'll see what this injury is first. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 3. Turpin player just lying out there as trainers from both sidelines come over to look at him. 250. Still can't see who the injured Spartan is. Walnut sidelines all on a knee. And the player stands up. That's actually an Eagle. Looks like. And this offensive lineman's going to get helped off under his own power. It's the freshman center, Brady Nolman, who got injured blocking. He's hopping off on his right foot. His left leg is in the air. Brady Nolman, freshman center who had started each of Walnut's first 3 games, is going to have to come out here. That presents a snap issue, as now looks like they'll line Jaden Miller up at center, the junior. 2nd down and 8 from the 3. Snap from Miller. Rivers back to pass. Throws middle of the field. It is through the hands of Malachi Lures. Tight window throw, but it was catchable for Lures. He was defended by Turpin defensive back Mac Reed. It'll be 3rd down and 8 from deep in their own end zone. Walnut offense just looking for anything right now. They go into the single wing, 2 receivers right, 1 left. They motion Jeremiah Thornton and they hand to Robinson, who gets stood up and stopped. That'll be a loss. Wasn't a safety, but Robinson will. So that surrender play did not work as well as Walnut wanted it to. The ball was spotted at about the 1, so a negative play for Robinson. And Colin Ross will have the unenviable task of punting out of his own end zone. Two Turpin returners lined up at about the 35-yard line. One of them is Dylan Hoffman, and a flag flies out on the snap. So we'll get possibly even more backing up. And that'll back one up from about the 1 to about the 1. Some kind of false start. 1:53 in the 3rd quarter clock, and Colin Ross gonna have to do a lot to just get this punt away. Ross with the right-footed kick that wobbles out of bounds, and that may not even have gotten past the 10. So Ross was trying to roll out to the right but he was facing right, and his foot just ended up kicking it all the way out of bounds on the right side. It'll be an 11-yard punt, which is better than a safety, I suppose. But it gives Negum and the Turpin offense a very easy field with which to try and punt it in again. They're still looking to get Gardner that first touchdown of the season. Negum lines up as they send a man in motion and give it to him on a jet sweep. Running to the right side to the 10, to the 5, and Abatiello to the goal line. Touchdown, Turpin. As Mickey Abatiello took the ball in a jet sweep, maneuvered around the Walnut defenders, and scored on a dive to the end zone, and that extends Turpin's lead to 23-7 here in the 3rd quarter. Could feel that was coming after those goal line stands just didn't turn into much from that Walnut offense. On for the extra point, junior kicker Addy Braun, who has made all of his kicks today. Snap is good, hold is good. Braun puts it through the uprights, and that extends Turpin's lead to 24-7 on a 13-yard rushing touchdown by wide receiver Mickey Abatiello. And this Walnut team has got to figure something out on offense especially. Jack Nader on for his 5th kickoff of the day. First 2, Lures returned for good gains, but the second one, Lures was not able to hang on to. And they led to long fields for this Walnut offense. 1:35 on the 3rd quarter clock. Kick by Naderer is a low one. It is fielded on a big hop at about the 20. They run to the 30 and then knock a player over, and it's fumbled. And it looks like falling on it was Malachi Lures at the end of all of that. The ball took a nasty baseball hop, and it will be recovered by Walnut at their own 28. Feel like on a different hop, that play could have gone for a lot more. All right. Walnut offense just looking to put together any kind of drive. They've been feeding Robinson, but he has not had the best of nights. And so here they go to the spread with 3 receivers out to the right and 1 alone to the left. That's Brunson. Austin not on the field right now. Rivers motions Jeremiah Thornton in as the wing. Now takes the snap and drops back to pass. Pressure coming instantly. Rivers gets out of 1 tackle, but he's rolling hard to the right. And Rivers is going to have to throw it. It's deflected by a Turpin player out of bounds. So no grounding, but that pressure got to Rivers immediately and forced him to throw a tipped ball out of bounds at 2nd down and 10. Rivers is simply not look comfortable back there. Bronson enters the field with the play call. Lures runs wide runway and 2 receivers off to the left side on a single wing set. 2nd down and 10. They send a player in motion. They hand it off to Robinson going to the 25, and that's about it. He'll get tackled for another loss. As Simeon Robinson has not had any running lanes against this stacked Turpin box. They're essentially daring Walnut to throw it down the field. Walnut thought they don't meet that dare. It's lost at 2. It's 3rd down and 12 from the Turpin, from their own 26. It'll be almost 2 full games of game time since Walnut scored an offensive touchdown. Thornton lures wide right, 2 others wide left on 3rd down and 12 in a spread set. Quick blitz comes for Turpin. Rivers in trouble, and down he goes. Pressure got home for Turpin. And Rivers was sacked by defensive lineman Brandon Riley. That is his 4th sack of the year. Fourth and a mile. And here comes the punt team. So a lot of 3 and outs tonight for this Walnut offense. Just have not been able to get anything going against this Turpin defensive front. Before they can get the punt off, that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. So Turpin 24, Walnut Hills 7. Story of this game has been Turpin's defensive line simply controlling everything and bottling up every aspect of this Walnut offense. To open the 4th quarter, it'll be Walnut punting from their own 19-yard line. Colin Ross's last 2 punts have gone very much awry. And so this time, Turpin not really respecting the deep punt. And a whistle as the ball was snapped. Don't know what the holdup was, but the ball will not move. It'll stay on the Walnut 19. Ross back to punt. 2 returners standing at about the 50. And it's a fake punt. Thornton is going to try and throw it, and that goes nowhere as Thornton just going to go down. Jeez. Fake punt, end around to Thornton. Simply, it was 4th and 20. So Thornton would have needed a deep pass, and that option was covered. Brady Gillespie ultimately had the finishing tackle on Thornton, as that play was very unfortunate. Second straight drive that this Turpin offense will get the ball inside their Walnut 15. And I wouldn't be shocked if Coach Miles is fine with giving up a quick score just so we can see if he can work on his offensive issues. Quick snap to Negum. Back to pass, got time, now runs middle of the field to the 10, and is cut down at around the 6 by sophomore linebacker Cam Fightmaster. It'll be 2nd down and 2 from the 5. So a lot of season left, but this Walnut offense has got to figure a lot of things out before they go tomorrow next week. 2nd down and 2. Negum hands Gardner running right side, met and stopped immediately by linebacker Cade Fightmaster and defensive end Braylon Coleman, who are both in on that stop. It'll be a tackle for loss, as they have not been able to get Joey Gardner into the end zone. Loss of about 4. It'll be 3rd down and 5 from about the 9. 3rd and 5. Braun waiting on the sidelines as Negum takes the snap and hands up, and quick screen pass goes to the right side, and oof! Parker Rowe leveled the receiver. The ball went to Luke Melaham, and he paid for it. Parker Rowe hit him hard and in short of the 1st down marker. It'll be 4th down and about 2 from the 6. Turpin going to keep the offense out there. Again, the thought process is the same, that they can pin the Walnut offense deep where they have not been effective. Negum, back to pass. Throws left side of the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. Mickey Abatillo with his 2nd touchdown of the day. This one through the air, and Turpin extends their lead to 30-7.
Mickey Abatillo.
30-7 now. The score after another short field resulted in 6 points for the Turpin offense. Braun on for the extra point. Snap is good, hold is good, and Braun's extra point partially blocked, and it falls short of the sticks. So no extra point for Braun. 30-7 remains the score. Not quite running clock territory, but getting close to it. Nader on for the extra point, for the kickoff, rather. Looks like it may have changed up their returners. I can't really see from this angle. And the kick by Naderer, fielded by Parker Rowe at about the 15, moves to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Parker Rowe left sideline to the 35, to the 40, and finally taken out of bounds past the Turpin 40. So a good run by Parker Rowe, who is in to replace Malachi Lewis after he botched a couple of kickoffs. It'll give this one offense some room to work for the first time in a while. 7-point game at halftime. Now 9:34 in the fourth quarter, and Turpins open it up. First and 10 for the Walnut offense from the 40. Hoskins will enter the game at wide receiver as Walnut lines up in a heavy set again. I formation, Robinson, Thornton. Rivers hands Robinson to the 40, and he's driven backward and stopped immediately by Turpin linebacker Carson Steer. A loss of 1 on the play for Robinson. It'll move the ball back to about the 38. No, they'll say he had no gain. So simply have not been able to spread the ball out as much as they've wanted to, and their power running has not worked. Second down and 10 is a spread, 2 receivers each side with Robinson off of Rivers' left hip and a shotgun. Turpin playing Rivers back to pass, and he's pressured quickly, rolls out to the right, moves to the 30. Rivers just wants to tuck and run, and now wants to throw it down the left sideline, and it's incomplete. Thornton was the intended target, Joshua Thornton, but Rivers just pretty much an impossible window as the Turpin DB jumped the route to break it up for good measure. Third down and 10 from the Walnut 40. Freshman receiver, it's a different guy. Entering an offensive lineman, can't tell who that is. 68 or 88, can't tell. 2 receivers each side, Rivers third and 10. Back to pass. Rivers looks across the middle, caught Bronson, fumbles it, and then it is broken up. As it hit Bronson in the hands, he could not control it, and linebacker Brady Nickerson was in to make the stop for Turpin, and it'll be another 3 and out for the Walnut offense. .8:34 in the fourth quarter clock. And Colin Ross back for another punt. Hopefully it's not a bad fake this time. Punting from his own 27. Turpin has 2 receivers back deep past their own 30. Snap goes to Ross. And his punt is a low one, not a lot of hang time, taken at about the 30. Returner goes to the 32 to the 34, and that's where he's brought down. In on that stop was sophomore linebacker Cam Fightmaster, so Turpin will not get the ball out to 15 once again. It'll still be solid field position. They'll start at their own 35. Freshman defensive lineman Haven Sorensen enters the game for Walnut. This may be his first action. He'll set up in an odd front alongside Donovan Gale. Walnut playing a lot more young guys, just trying to figure out who's got the stuff. Dayron Ackland still getting extended run at free safety. First and 10 for Turpin from their own 35. Send him in motion. They hand it off to Gardner up the middle to the 35 to the 40, and he's tackled by Fightmaster at about the 44. So that time they used the misdirection from Avitello to have Gardner run forward and pick up 9. Second down and 1. Clock runs under 8 to play. Needham hands it off to Gardner, and he is met quickly, but he falls forward and pushes himself to about the 48, securing a first down for Turpin before he was pushed backwards by linebacker Xander Hargis. First and 10 for Turpin from their own 48. 7:30 left in the ball game. Abatello runs off the field, replaced by Luke Milaham. And this subbing out of wide receivers to let Turpin have a lot of fresh legs for this fourth quarter. 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Gardner, running right side. He's chased by Fightmaster. Flag is down. Fightmaster gets Gardner behind the line for a loss of 1. We'll see what the penalty flag is. So both Turpin offense already walking back. It'll be a holding on them. That'll set him back 10 yards, 1st down and 20. Ball is placed on the Turpin 38, 1st down and 20. New receiver runs on is Joey Dotsauer for Turpin. Needham to each side. Back to pass, and a little awkward snap there, but no penalty flag. Needham's chased out to the right and throws to the sideline, and the catch is incomplete. Carter Lewis could not get a foot down in bounds. It'll be 2nd and 20. .6:41 to play in the game. Turpin up 30-7. They have scored 30 unanswered since Braylon Dennis's pick 6 in the 1st quarter. Second and 20. They sent him in motion, and they hand it off to Gardner, running right side, and he's taken down quickly for a tackle for a loss by linebacker Jared Ross. Ross had that play diagnosed. He was not fooled by the man in motion, Carter Lewis. It'll be 3rd and long for Turpin. They'll give Turpin a loss of 2 on that play. EFL by Jared Ross for a team that does plenty of that. 3rd and 22. Newman back to pass. Blitz coming, picked up. Needham out to the right. Now he's chased by Gale. Gale evades a run. Needham just runs out of the right side. Now it's caught, and he's still on the move. Needham just escaped and found a man downfield. That was Joey Dotsauer, and he just weaved his way enough. What? And they'll say that Dotsauer was a yard short of the line to gain. 4th and 1. Turpin will keep the offense out there. They have not punted all game. Needham will run off the field now. And backup quarterback Logan Ackerman. And a timeout called. Some kind of whistle. It's the defensive sub, Eli Newman, enters the game. Walnut playing a lot of young guys. 4th and 1, Ackerman replacing Needham for the first snap today. Man goes in motion. Ackerman takes a snap, rolls out right, stumbles a little bit, and now he's in trouble. Ackerman gets tackled at about the 41. We'll see if they give him the first down or not. And they do. First down run for Logan Ackerman on 4th and 1. Turpin backup quarterback gets just enough. As both teams are head toward their benches. 4:45 to play. Ackerman, the presumptive starter once Needham graduates at the end of this year. 1st and 10 from the Walnut 41. Rogers off Ackerman's left-hand hip. They hand it to Rogers, and he is going to be cut down immediately by a blitzing linebacker, and that is Xander Hargis. Already got about 4 tackles for loss heading into this game, and he cuts down Rogers there for a loss of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 13 for Turpin. Turpin dipping further into their pool of backups. They send a man in motion, Elliott, and they hand it off to Rogers. And Rogers, no, that was Elliott getting the ball, the man in motion, but won't have that play diagnosed from the jump. It'll be another tackle for loss. As Elliott ran into a swarm of Eagles, it's 3rd and 15. 3:30 left in the ball game. Running clock not active. 3rd down and 16 from the Walnut 46. Turpin gets back to the line in a hurry. And Ackerman now hard count, look to the sideline. Clock runs down to 3 minutes. Ackerman rolls out to the right to pass. Now he's pressured. Gets the screen pass off left, and Gale brings him down at about the 36. Well shy of the 1st down, so it'll be another 4th down situation for Turpin. Turpin ran that play earlier in the game. They had Ackerman roll out right, then do a little no-look screen pass to the left, and it picked up about 10 yards. It'll be 4th down and 6. Clock down to about 2.5 minutes. Walnut defense looking to give the offense one last shot to redeem themselves before this game is in the books. 4th down and 6. Man goes in motion. That's Lewis. Ackerman back to pass, rolls out. He's going to look deep, and he overthrows the intended receiver. He was looking down the left sideline for Trey Goetzel. Make that Max Heist, but instead it's incomplete. And with 2:14 on the game clock, the Walnut offense will have one more shot. Punch it into the end zone. We'll get to practice the 2-minute drill against hopefully some of Turpin's backups. I'll have to figure out what to do at center after Brady Nolman got hurt in the 3rd quarter. Walnut lines up in the eye, 2 receivers to the right. Rivers just going to hand it off to the up man, Hoskins. Got to make a man miss, and he can't, to the 35, and there'll be another big tackle for loss by this Turpin defensive line. Second down and 11 after a loss of 1 on the run by Deshaun Hoskins. Ty Austin's been very limited in tonight's proceedings. He was out for almost the entire second half against Milford, and is only coming for about, I would say, a third of the snaps in tonight's game. Hopefully he'll be back to normal for the Little Miami game next week. Rivers sends a man in motion and pitches it to him. Going left side, Thornton to the 32 and runs out to about the 37. That's all. It's taken down by a bunch of Turpin defenders. The clock runs out about 1:14. We're going to get the play call from the sideline as the clock goes down to about 1 minute to play. 3rd and 9 from the Walnut Hills 37. Walnut breaks the huddle. No running back has taken a snap this season besides Robinson, not counting Hoskins, who's played as more of a hybrid role. Low snap goes to Rivers, who's back to pass. He's pressured. He throws deep down the left sideline for Bronson. It's incomplete. Rivers well overthrew his target, and Bronson was cutting inside. It's 4th down. One last play for the offense. No, it'll be Ross out to punt with 35 seconds left. So Turpin pulled away in this one in the late 3rd and early 4th quarter. And they'll just have Ross out there to hopefully get one last good punt off after he had some not good ones in the 3rd quarter. Walnut fans heading for the exits. Snap good to Ross. He kicks it pretty well to about the 32. It's returned by Gillespie. He shakes off a man to the 35, running right side to the 38, cuts middle of the field to the 40, and that's where he's brought down hard by Eli Newman. So with 20 seconds to play, it'll just be a formality for Turpin here. Big storyline going into this next week will be just the lifelessness of this one-on offense against Turpin. The O-line was simply dominated the whole game, and I think they may have had 2 first downs. Simply not a good look from a team that needs to rely on those breakout stars on offense to really take it to where it wants to go. 30 points in the West High game. Since then, nothing. Last snap of the game. Neegum in, takes a knee, and that make that Neegum takes a knee, and that should just about do it. Final score here from Mark Stadium: Turpin 30, Walnut Hills 7. Walnut offense has not scored a touchdown in almost 9 quarters of game time. Turpin scored 4 times, 3 touchdown passes for Devin Neegum to 1 interception. Rivers, no touchdowns and 1 pick. The teams will shake hands and head their separate ways. Next week, Walnut heads up tomorrow to take on Little Miami for their first road game of the season. This was Walnut Hills Football on the Sportscasting Channel.